CM Punk has given an update on a potential return from injury timeframe. Elsewhere, a former WWE superstar has had their first match since being released from the company last year. And WWE World at Wrestlemania has been officially announced. We'll have all the details on the new fan experience in this video. Hello everybody, Jack and Ross back again with more news. First of all, let's start by talking about CM Punk, who was interviewed ahead of UFC 298 last night.
The night before
last. By TNT Sports, but what did he say about his injury?
I'm a clumsy idiot. That's the words of CM Punk, and not myself, even though they're both the same thing. I tore my left tricep about 2 years ago, so the right one was jealous. I'm like an old car. I'm like a 72 Nova. You know what I mean?
I don't know what a 72 Nova is.
Not a clue.
72 was a long time ago, though, so yeah.
We have to change some parts every now and again, so once we fix up all the parts, the engine is still strong. We'll still be good to go.
You also give a little bit of an update on how long he might potentially be out, saying we're thinking maybe 6 to 8 months, but he says I'm not really in a rush to get back to compete. I'm in a rush to get healthy. I'm in a rush to get better, and the sooner I do that, the better. I'll be back when I come back. Essentially, he doesn't want to rush it, and I think that's fair.
It's a wise thing, just based off the fact that injuries have happened more often than not when he has been doing the wrestling very recently,
which he seems to have been very open about there as well. To be fair, a lot of people have been saying it. These injuries seem to be cropping up more and more frequently. I guess the one saving grace is that it's not repeatedly to the same part of the body.
Yeah.
But it's still probably a sign of, time catches up with everyone and all that.
Of course it does. He's in his late 40s now, for goodness sake.
He also confirmed what I think we all suspected in regards to his WrestleMania 40 plans had he not gotten injured, saying, I was going to headline WrestleMania, obviously now I'm not, but it's sports. It's what happens to athletes. Mentally, I think it's harder because the physical pain is whatever, but I look at it just as being like a bump in the road. This is an occupational hazard. It happens, and I'll be back bigger and better.
It'll be very interesting to see what the landscape is like when he does come back. If what he's saying there is true and it is going to be 6 to 8 months. Do you reckon he's just saying that and he comes back next week on Raw?
Oh, like 2008 John Cena. Oh, fantastic. He also, Ross, talked a bit about The Rock as well and his return.
He's changed his CM Punk because he said this about The Rock. I think it's fantastic. 10 years ago now, I was the guy that was wrestling The Rock when he came back. And now 10 years later, he's coming back. And I think the landscape has completely changed, right? WrestleMania is 2 nights now. It's even bigger. Him coming back only helps. I always say high tide raises all ships. This is CM Punk still speaking. So I'm just happy that even though I'm hurt, I'm still going to be kind of in the mix. My mouth still works, so I'm going to be able to talk some trash. I don't know if you saw the kickoff we did in Vegas with Rock and Roman and Seth and Cody. It was a lot of fun, and I hope to just continue to do that while I'm recuperating because I can always just talk trash with the best of them. It's the best part. It's what I do.
Yeah, I imagine he will. I don't know whether he'll be on the kickoff show or in a more prominent position at WrestleMania weekend, but I imagine he'll be involved in some way.
Well, his friendly dog friend, Axel Rose there. Axel Rose, his friend, Ace Steel, said he's going to be he's going to get the call up to commentary for some sort of show, which had us saying NXT because they've just announced the Raw commentary team's changed to Pat and Maggle. SmackDown is now Cody and Wade, which means he's going to go to NXT, obviously. I don't know if that's still a thing or not.
Ace Steel said that he heard that they wanted him to do NXT, but I don't know if it was just Ace Steel talking up his ball. I mean, I'm sure if Punk went, I'll commentate NXT, I'm sure they'd go, yes, please.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's where he'll end up being utilised. Speaking of NXT, Fightful Select had quite a few updates on NXT. One which I haven't written in the notes, but a little bonus one is that they're pleased with Byron stepping into Phil Booker T's shoes.
He's just a safe pair of hands, isn't he, Byron?
Absolutely. But now we're going to talk about, they've got an injury update on the condition of Shotzi, who sustained an injury at an NXT taping recently.
Yeah, she was taking on Lyra Valkyria, and it all went wrong. That was when the title was on the line as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a horrible shame to hear about. He says, we're not being able to confirm the explicit nature of Shotzi's knee injury. One source told Fightful that she'd be out for a significant amount of time, which is horrible to hear.
Yeah, it sounded nasty. The reports from the tapings suggested that she'd banged her knee on the apron and was visibly in a lot of pain and had to be helped to the back and stuff. So best wishes to Shotzi. Again, it says a considerable amount of time, but hopefully she takes all the time she needs. And,
big time.
Now we need to talk about the Wolf Dogs. Oh yes, the best tag team in the world.
Currently, as we're sat here in February 2024, they are the best tag team in the world.
Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin recently won the NXT Tag Team Championships as well from Tony D and Stacks. And this has caused a bit of confusion because everyone's thinking, but Bron's been called up to the main roster. So what does that mean for Corbin? What does that mean for the Wolf Dogs?
He was on SmackDown last week without his NXT Tag Team title belt, which was horrible to see.
It was. You should respect that title.
Yes, you should, Braun, sorry.
But Fightful Select also have an update on this, saying that Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin have continued to impress officials as a tag team, rightly so, and there have been discussions about Corbin joining Breakker on the main roster once his call-up is finalized, excuse me. Officials have discussed... that was all exciting and stuff, but this last sentence is awful. Officials have discussed changing the team's name to Spear of Days, because he does a spear, end of days. Initial thoughts on that proposed name?
It's horrible just on the surface of things, because what made the Wolf Dogs so special for people who watch NXT was their camaraderie.
Yep.
The name of the Wolf Dogs came out because Braun wanted to call the team the Wolf Dogs. Baron didn't like it, he wanted to call them something else, but because they won a match, Baron then said, well, we've won the match now, we've won the tag team titles, and I'll call ourselves the Wolf Dogs.
Yeah.
They're like brotherly relationships. You might think we're being ironic if you don't watch NXT. Yeah. They've been absolutely fantastic over the past 2 months or so.
Yes, absolutely. I hope that even if the Spear of Days name isn't reduced, I hope that it's like Baron trying to change the Wolf Dogs name and Braun going, no, the Wolf Dogs is way better than
the
that.
same Kavorka is a good way for Braun to start on the main roster. I think if you don't want to put him straight up there and it'll be the US title on SmackDown or the world title on SmackDown, which you can't do obviously because Cody's finishing the story. The team with Baron just sets itself up. Have a big match at SummerSlam, a big blow off after a devastating run across the main roster tag teams.
I'd agree with that as well. And again, we're not being sarcastic. Genuinely really fun tag team.
They are really good. Baron Corbin NXT is the best work he's ever done in WWE.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
It's not even...
Someone whose best work came on the main roster, it's generally accepted, rather than NXT, was Elias, or Ezekiel, I've put in brackets there as a little joke. Because
no, they were different people.
They were different people. So we're talking about Elias now because he's got his beard back. He was released last year, unfortunately, in 2023, and made his return to the ring, wrestling his first match in almost 9 months recently, which it was a long time away and probably longer than any sort of no-compete clause. I'm assuming it was just because he wanted to take a break from wrestling.
Or he was waiting for a specific matchup, maybe. I don't know, just spitballing potential ideas, because his opponent was Speedball Mike Bailey, which is quite a nice way to introduce yourself to the independent scene once again.
I think so. Now going under the ring name Elijah, he lost to Speedball Mike Bailey at Wrestling Revolver, so I think you might think, oh, that's a bad sign to kick off his indie run, but I think it shows that he's in it for the love of the wrestling. He's not just one of these ex-WWE guys who's going to try and not let anyone else get over and that sort of thing. So I think that's quite good.
Not as if he's lost to nobody. It's one of the indie kings, you'd say, the current day Speedball Mike.
Absolutely.
Speedball Mike.
Speedball Mike. This was Elijah, or Elias's first match since the Raw episode May 15th, 2023, when he took part in a Battle Royal on the show. I've always found his release quite a sad one, because what more can you want from him? He was so entertaining. You saw the footage from house shows and that. He seemed tailor-made for the WWE main roster.
Yeah, you go back to 2018 and the reactions he would get as a heel. Day where you couldn't ask for any more, as Jack said there. But when it turned him babyface and he's still using the same catchphrase as when he was a heel, then he just never got going again.
No, I don't think it was his fault. I think that was creative messing it up, really.
Yeah.
And also, now there's been a press release about an hour ago, as we record this video, from WWE, who have announced, I guess this is like the next evolution of WrestleMania Access. It's now called WWE World at Wrestlemania. The press release says that today, WWE and Fanatics Events, the live and special event division of Fanatics, officially announced details of WWE World at Wrestlemania, a 5-day interactive fan experience taking place from Thursday, April 4th through to Monday, April 8th. So like not just WrestleMania weekend, like half of WrestleMania week. At the Pennsylvania Convention Center in Philadelphia. Tickets go on sale this Thursday, February 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern, ranging between $30 and $300.
Yeah, the World at WrestleMania will feature a variety of immersive experiences for fans, including a central main stage that will host roundtable discussions with top WWE superstars. We're not being paid for this, honestly. A WWE 2K24 gaming tournament. Get yourself involved. Live podcast recordings, live memorabilia and autograph sales through Fanatics Live, and the largest WWE superstars in WrestleMania history. Superstore, sorry. That would make more sense than superstars. Only Andre the Giant and Omos can come.
The event will also feature apparently exclusive merchandise, autograph sessions, and meet and greets with WWE superstars and legends. That's the kind of stuff that we had at Access anyway. In addition, though, to immersive exhibits and memorabilia honouring WrestleMania's 40-year history.
What do you reckon that means? You can put on Hulk Hogan's tights from WrestleMania 3, strut around surrounding them like you are Hulk Hogan.
Maybe that, or just, I don't know if there'll be some sort of, it sounds almost like a museum, but like an interactive one where you can walk through the biggest moments in WrestleMania history. We'll have to wait and see what that is. It seems to be, like an upgraded version of Access, because a lot of that stuff is what you'd get at Access, walking around, maybe a ring in there with some live matches going on.
Autograph signings and
merch and stuff. But the bit that intrigues me there is the round table discussions and the podcast recordings. It seems like we're going to get sort of the stuff we'd only see on the network in a closed set, but in a live environment.
And with live reactions as well from the fans in the background. They can't hide anymore.
No, they can't hide anymore. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like as we approach WrestleMania. And as we approach WrestleMania, we've got all the coverage of Elimination Chamber coming up this week as well. WTF moments, what happened at, predictions, pictures on Wednesday as well, of course, and all the rest of it as well. So stay tuned for all that. And myself and Ross did a news video earlier on today as well. So check that out on this channel. And we did that what are the three things? Push, bench,
repackage. Just like LA Knight.
Yeah, have a look at that. It's when Ross basically goes through members of the WWE roster, and then himself, me and Tom will discuss whether to push, bench, or repackage them. And it's a nice little discussion. Yeah, it was quite good. It was a little discussion, quite a long one.
Yeah, it was about an hour.
Good. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack, this has been Ross, and we'll see you very soon.